This is part 4 of Making Beaver Tail Wallets, and this is the final video. So if you want to skip ahead to the end, you'll be able to see the finished wallets, or you could watch the rest of the video too. For this part, I am gluing on the interior pockets for the bifold wallets. It's a little bit tricky because the interior pockets are about 1/2 inch shorter than the exterior of the wallet, so that when you fold the wallet, the interior doesn't buckle, and it encourages the wallet to keep that fold. And then onto sewing. I always do some test stitching on scraps that I've layered to get to a similar thickness, so I can make sure that my machine is sewing well in that thickness and the thread tension is right. And then I get to sewing the wallets. I always go really slow. This is sped up, obviously, but go really slow so that you don't mess it up, because you only have one shot. Once there's holes in there, they're going to be there forever. And this top stitch line was especially difficult to keep the stitching straight. So I have to sew right along that pocket edge, which kept trying to push the needle off the wallet. But I made it work. And then after they're sewn, I go on to edge finishing. And the first step is I used an 80 grit sandpaper to get all the layers of leather evened out, and then go through with an edge beveler to smooth out the edges a little bit, round them out, and then switch to a 120 grit sandpaper, and then a 240 grit sandpaper, and believe it or not, I spent about 8 hours total on finishing the edges for all these wallets. There were 6 wallets, so over an hour per wallet, but they turned out really nice. And then dye the edges. I just have a leather dye in a marker pen, and then Tokenol is a edge burnishing cream, I think is what they would consider it. And I do a little bit of the Tokenol with the 240 grit, and then a little more Tokenol with a wooden burnishing tool. And it's hard to imagine doing that for 8 hours, but I did. But they turned out really nice. There's all the pretty edges, and then all the wallets. I do custom wallets. If you have tanned tails, you can send them to me. I'll make you a wallet in the style that you want. I don't have any beaver tails currently to take orders, but I'm waiting on getting some back from a tannery. So hopefully I'll have some in a little while to take some custom wallet orders. And I also have a mitten pattern for if you want to learn how to sew your own fur mittens. You can check that out on my website.